gi matches, but to me it's a staple of the single leg X. So the knee flare we just did, incredibly strong sweep. If you were doing a gi match, pretty much all the way through black belt, you can't reap. If you're doing a gi, like IBJJF rules, a lot of people follow those IBJJF rules, you wouldn't be allowed to do the second one we're doing. But the concept of knee flaring and de-levering the guy, in this instance it's called a reap because I'm using my leg from the outside in. But this concept of knee flaring and then reaping them so their hands go in the dirt, this is such an important concept that I teach the reap when I teach the single leg X, even the white belt. So what would happen, the more and more I try to take Mike here, this guy might lean more and more in this direction. So if you kind of favor your weight this way, yeah, and the more he does that, the harder it is to take him here. You go big ball, like 180 all the way back around me. Right, here's good. So from here, if I'm having trouble bringing the guy here, but I feel a little bit of like cake or bend in this knee, I can put a reap. If I can make the guy's knee bend and start pulling his foot out from under his ass, it's actually really disruptive to his base. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking my foot and I'm going to extend him. I want the guy almost doing splits to keep your balance when it is. I'm extending their leg. The more I get that away, the more I'm hanging this leg out to dry. I really don't want the guy to be able to drop his body on me. That's why I push this here, because my leg will be a little vulnerable in the transition. I'm going to turn hard fetal, and I'm going to buckle the guy's knee. As soon as it's going to be difficult to buckle some people's knee, so I'm having trouble, just kick this other leg out further, make him do even more splits. As soon as the leg buckles, I stop pushing with my other leg, and I lock my legs and aim my knees into the dirt. If Mike tries to like scooch away, he's not getting away from me. I'm glued to his leg with my knees down. The reason why I lock my legs as soon as the guy goes is because his only really route out of here is to have his knee jump over my thigh at this point. Once there's a reap in the knee, he cannot come back. If I go here, you try to turn back to me, you blow his knee out. If you try to punch me with your left hand, he can't. He had to blow his knee out. So the only route out is making his knee jump over my knee. That's why as soon as the guy will comply with the reap, I stop pushing and I start locking. If I keep pushing, sometimes I'll actually push the guy out of my reap. If I'm pushing, sometimes I'll push so much that I knock the guy out of my own reap. This is shit, this is nothing. In fact, I would really like to be Mike. I'd plant my foot strong, stand up, start hovering over and pressing knees down. Yeah, start to crush, yeah. We're gonna enter single leg X. I'm gonna maybe start the knee flare. The guy leans this way a little bit. So I'm gonna put my foot here. I extend. The more I get this guy's base opened up, the easier it is gonna be to reap this leg. The more I push him, the more weight he's gonna put on his left foot, the lighter the right leg. I push. As soon as he's going, I stop, I lock, and also I aim my knees to the ground. The more horizontal with the mat, the easier it would be for Mike to make his knee jump my thigh. The more my thigh is kind of like backwards and my hips are low, if he wanted to make his knee jump my thigh now, he would almost have to roll to do it. It's like there's not the angle when I'm down to the ground. And I mean, you get fucking glued to the person. This is one of the tightest connections you can do. So, right here. So say you go to knee flaring, and I'm hanging out on this side. Here, extend a little bit, breathe, but now lock your legs. You got your fork, and aim your knees to the ground. Right here, watch this shit. I try to move, you can just keep it locked. It's like, Mike's going with me. I'm not getting away from this. It's very difficult to get away. And then all we do to finish, Mike's already got his hand on the heel hook. For the finish, this is the strongest outside heel hook you can do. His hip would start to turn, which would make my body turn.